Most comebacks do not start with confidence. They start quietly. A strange restlessness. A loss of interest in things that once mattered. A growing need for silence. That is why most people miss it. This video reveals 7 quiet signs that a person's greatest comeback has already begun, explained through Stoic principles. How the mind wakes up, why life suddenly feels uncertain, why old pain resurfaces, and what it really means when someone stops needing approval. Because if these signs are misunderstood, they are labeled as failure, depression, or falling behind. But if they are understood, they become the foundation for a deliberate rebuild. And the most important sign is the one people mistake as regression, when the shadow appears. 1. The unseen wake-up. Change rarely arrives with drama. It arrives as a pause. A person looks at their life and asks, "Is this still right?" Not loudly, not emotionally, just honestly. Stoicism teaches that life is always in motion. Nothing remains fixed. So when someone suddenly feels drawn to a message, a conversation, or a thought that feels personal, it is not always random. It may be the deeper mind waking up. The first sign of a comeback is simple. What once fit, no longer does. Old habits feel restrictive. Old roles feel heavy. Familiar places feel wrong. This discomfort is not proof something is broken. It is proof something is changing. 2. The transition phase. After the wake-up, life often feels like standing between two worlds. The old version no longer works. The new version has not appeared yet. A person may feel distant from their routines, their work, or even certain relationships. Not because they hate them, but because the satisfaction is gone. This phase feels like uncertainty without direction. The mind asks, if I am not who I was, then who am I now? Stoicism answers this clearly. Roles, status, and circumstances are temporary. They were never meant to define the self. That is why this phase feels empty. Because identity is being stripped of what was never stable. This emptiness is not failure. It is space. 3. When the shadow rises, old anger resurfaces. Old memories return. Old fears feel close again. The person wonders, why now? I was doing better. This is where most people turn back. They mistake this moment for regression. But in Stoic philosophy, the shadow appears for a reason. It rises when the mind is finally strong enough to face it. What is buried does not disappear. It waits. When distractions stop working, unresolved emotions surface, not to destroy, but to be processed. The Stoic approach is neither suppression nor indulgence. It is observation. Emotions are not commands. They are signals. When a person allows an emotion to exist without feeding or resisting it, the intensity weakens. The nervous system relearns safety. This is not collapse. This is integration. 4. The restructuring of inner power. After the shadow is faced, something subtle changes. The person pauses before reacting. They stop defending themselves automatically. They choose silence where they once chose conflict. They discover the space between stimulus and response. In that space, choice appears. This is the beginning of real power. Not loud power, not performative strength, quiet stability. Boundaries form without explanations. No is said without guilt. Peace is chosen over winning. This is not becoming someone new. It is returning to internal order. 5. Withdrawal from the crowd. Noise begins to feel expensive. Small talk feels draining. Certain people feel misaligned. The person chooses quiet evenings over crowded rooms. They speak less. They explain less. Others may misinterpret this withdrawal. They may call it distance or decline. But Stoicism teaches that retreat is not weakness. It is preparation. Like drawing back a bow before release, the mind is reorganizing. Energy is being conserved. This is not disappearance. It is consolidation. 6. The signals of a comeback. The signs are subtle. Validation is no longer chased. Approval loses urgency. Arguments are avoided without resentment. The person protects their attention. They choose peace over being right. They stop performing for understanding. The most telling sign is this: they no longer feel the need to announce their growth. Real transformation changes behavior. It does not ask for witnesses. 7. The tipping point. Most people wait for a dramatic moment, a surge of motivation, a clear sign that everything has changed. But a comeback does not arrive suddenly. It accumulates quietly. Small decisions stack, turning off the phone early, walking instead of spiraling, writing instead of avoiding, saying no once, then again. One day the person realizes something important. The old version no longer governs their reactions. They are no longer waiting for permission. They are already moving. A comeback is not an event. It is a silent process. Awakening, transition, shadow, reorganization, silence, signals, tipping point. So if someone feels off lately, they may not be breaking down. They may be waking up. And if the answer is shadow, then the comeback is closer than they think, because the shadow does not rise when someone is weak. It rises when they are finally stable enough to face it. That is the signal. Not comfort, not motivation, readiness. And if it is showing up now, it means the old version is already losing. Subscribe to Ascend X Awaken.